exec, el Belé, el Belé, el fenómeno que todos quieren ser, el chamaquito que no pueden entender.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to episode 106 of the Exec Talk podcast. I am your host, Elvelez. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Let's get it straight into it. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. A lot to talk about. So, let's start by saying a la Madrid. A la Madrid. Real Madrid beats Bayern Munich 2-1 in the semifinal of the Champions League to go face Borussia Dortmund at Wembley for Ancelotti's incredible possible 7th title, 15th in Real Madrid's history. The kings of the champions. We pull it out of thin fucking air this time. Sorry for the language, but thin air. Davies with an absolute moment of brilliance. Actually, let's go through the actual match. Real Madrid started good. We started great. We were attacking. We controlled the ball in the first half. We had a couple chances. The goal to, shot attempts, we had 19. We had, we had 7 shots on goal, like 3 of them in the first half, 2 of them by Vinny. So we were being attacked. We held the ball for 57.2% of the possession for the whole game. So we did pretty good. But an absolute moment of brilliance by Davies. Rudiger couldn't have done it any better. He went by he went by what you're taught. Force him if you're faced with that situation and defending it 2 open sides, one to his strong foot, one to his weak foot. You hope that he goes to his weak foot, and Davies went to his weak foot, and he was actually let me see here. Gnabry started the game, I believe, and then I believe, and Fossel Davy off Serge Gnabry. Yeah, so he came in. He was a sub, which is funny because all 3 goals of this game were super subs, essentially. You had Alphonso Davies in the 68th minute. Rudiger played it well, forced him to his right foot, it's his weaker foot, and this man just laced one. He set it up, let the ball kind of sit, hit it, upper 90. Nothing Luden could have done. And Luden played great this match. Like, played absolutely incredible. Lunin. A couple scary moments off of set pieces and stuff like that, but and then our super sub. It's looking dire. 68th minute. They go 3-2 on aggregate. And we're all on our edge of our seats. And then we get to the 88th minute. Joselu comes in for Valverde. And just Vinny trying something, knowing that he has to score, throws it in the box, and, hits it pretty hard. It hits Noor. Noor doesn't corral it. It bounces in front of him, and here comes Joselu just running down the center and beats, I believe it was, let me see here. I believe he beat Delete, if not Dier, for the ball. And Oh my God. Might have been Kimmich. And boom, hits the back of the net. And we're like, okay, it's 1-1. It's 1-1. And then we don't have to wait that much. 2 minutes later, you know, we get a pass to Rudiger. He seems like he's offsides, but as soon as he gets it, he passes it to Joselu. Joselu is right on the line, but they went to review. They went to VAR. And he was behind the offsides line, and Joselu just hit it into the net. It was amazing. 2-1, and Munich had one last chance. And I don't know if you call it Bernabeu magic. I don't know if Bayern Munich fans call it, rigged. Listen, who's the one that scored that? It wasn't Sane. No, it wasn't Kimne. Wasn't Alfonso. Might have been Kane or Moting. Might have been Moting or Kane. And it was a goal, but before the ball even got received for the potential hit, it was already offsides. And we all went like this as a Real Madrid fan. Woo! And then we call it Bernabeu magic. And an absolutely incredible game. Classic Real Madrid. Munich, always on the edge of your seat. Any attack can be something. Vinny and Kimmich, Gnabry, Sane, Kane, Rodrigo. So much creativity. Bellingham. And, it's always when the subs come in, at least the last two games, Luka Modric comes in, that we switch out for Joselu, and that's the goal scorer twice to send us to the Champions League final, which I believe we will win against Borussia Dortmund. It's going to be a nice match. But I think Los Blancos a la Madrid are going to, capture the 15th Champions League title in club history and keep the record going. Loved it. It was incredible. As for the PSG Borussia Dortmund semifinal that was yesterday, I mean, for Paris, for PSG with Mbappe. Excuse me there. I sneezed. With Mbappe. With, Hakimi. Dembele, for you to go 1-0 into the night after you lost 1-0 in Germany, that's tough, man. That's tough. Okay? And it was Füllkrug. No, this is the first leg. The second leg. It wasn't Füllkrug. It was Mats Hummels, the German, the world champion. The World Cup champion. And, control, 69.5% PSG. Borussia Dortmund, 30.5%. But that's okay because they're a counter-attacking team. And they had 7 shot attempts. 3 were on goal. PSG had 30 shot attempts. 5 were on goal. It's a lot of missing right there. That's a lot of just missing. 12 corner kicks for PSG, 4 for Dortmund. 5 saves for Dortmund, 2 for PSG. So, it was, you have Ramos, Mbappe, Dembele, Vitinha, Ruiz, Emery, Mendes, Beraldo, Marquinhos, Hakimi. And you can't get it done at home? I think Kylian should think about Real Madrid. We've been trying to get him for a minute now, but hopefully this is the year that he just all right, I'm leaving. But great for the Champions League to be, at his full throat. No F1 this week. The next F1 race will be from Imola, in Italy. The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Um, but what we got to talk about is this basketball playoffs. But we're gonna skip really quick to some NBA news, some NFL news. Tyler Boyd, listen, probably the best number 3 receiver the last 3 years in the NFL. And then when he had to be a number 1, he was 1,000-yard receiver, and when he was a number 2, he was also a 1,000-yard receiver. So the Titans go out and make a power move. To me, this is a power move. This is beautiful team building right here for Will Levis. And for you, Titans fans, this is the move that you can. This is when you start saying, "Hey, Will Levis has no excuse. Cannon arm. Learn how to have your feet under you. Be smart with the football." And you have DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, and Tyler Boyd. That's top 5 in the league. Trios probably top 3. Trios are hard, considering that Tyler Boyd was just part of a trio in Cincinnati with Jamar and T. Higgins. Tyler Boyd now, the Bengals, like, they added some stuff in. They added some stuff in the draft, I believe, at the wide receiver position. Nothing of the top class, because they had a shot at Brian Thomas Jr. But they added something that they added something that'll definitely help them. Jermaine Burton being a number 3, I think that he's going to get a lot of single coverage, and you're just going to see his speed and his route running. But other than that, that's it. That's their 3. So from Tyler Boyd, 1,000-yard receiver, to a rookie. Okay. Jermaine Burton could be absolutely great. But then you go to the Titans in the same conference. We're talking about this is still the AFC, guys. And I just gotta congratulate that power move right there. Because now, if you look at your division, it's between you and the Texans. It's between you and the Texans about best receiving core. The Texans, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. I mean, that is nasty. When you go to Jaguars, I think you step down a little bit because it's, Brian Thomas, the rookie from LSU, the freak. Then you have Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones is gone. So they're going to have to find somebody else there. And then you go to Indianapolis, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, and I believe they just picked somebody really not super good, but like somebody really solid. Oh, Adonai Mitchell. So it's pretty legit too, but it's another rookie. So that's why I put the Jaguars and the Colts on the 3rd and 4th best receiving cores in that division, because both of their third guys are rookies. So we don't know what they're going to give us. And I know what Stephon Diggs, I know what Tank Dell, I know what Nico Collins does, and I know what DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, and Tyler Boyd does. So that to me is a big power move on the Titans side. Wemby wins Rookie of the Year. Shout out Wemby. We knew this. I mean, he led the league in blocks. He's going to be a truly, truly special player. I think it's going to be between him, Luka, and SGA. Included in there is like Jokic and Giannis. We're going to talk about Jason Tatum in a minute, but I believe that he will be one of them ones in the future. So Yeah, now let's get to the games, all right? Let's go to bullshit. Knicks win game 1 against the Pacers. Brunson drops 43 4 straight games, 40 plus 4 straight games in the playoffs. Mike, Kobe, that's the list of people who had done that. The Villanova trio are the Knicks offense. The Josh Hart, the Dante DiVincenzo, that is the Knicks offense. If they're going, especially with Brunson, since he's at the controls at the PG position, he's the point guard. And, he, for his size, I mean, he is scoring at the level of, you think about small scorers, AI, Steph. These are the type of numbers he's putting up for a small dude. You feel me? Like, this is incredible. Kyrie, and he's like, he gets it to you. It's not like overly fast. It's not flashy. Nah, it's, let me hit you with the step back. Let me hit you with the jab step. Let me bump you a couple times, in the mid range. Let me hit you with this crossover and go to the rim. Nice layup package. I'm not going to miss from the free throw line. I'm efficient. No wasted movement. Smart. Play defense. There's so many things that, you could say about the guy, but the kid's really good. I've seen him since Villanova. I've seen this whole trio since Villanova. Guess who was the Final Four player of the, MVP of the Final Four? It was Dante DiVincenzo. And he had a great game from the 3. Finally woke up with 30 seconds left. He hits a dagger 3 from like 27 feet. And this game was very back and forth. Very, very, very back and forth. Very back and forth. Indiana led for, I want to say, most of it. If I'm being honest, like it's ended 121-117, but like the Knicks led after the first quarter. Then you had the Pacers leading at halftime. Then you had the Pacers lose the third quarter by 1. So I think the Pacers still had the lead. Yeah, like the Pacers had the lead for, I mean, all game. All game. I mean, it was 4-6, 4-6. Like, there was no 10-point leads in this game. None. This was 4-6, 5-6, 5-2, tied. Like, this was back and forth as it gets. And the team that was more experienced in late game situations in the playoffs, which the Knicks are the ones that came out on top. And I felt it coming down the stretch. I felt that might happen. I knew Brunson was going to wake up in the fourth quarter. That's what he does. He's a big shot maker, big shot taker. They're at MSG, game 1. The energy. Josh Hart played amazing. So did DiVincenzo. And when you look at the Pacers, it was evenly spread out. Everybody was making shots. Siakam gave you 19. Naismith gave you 12. Turner gave you 23. Nembhard gave you 11. But Tyrese Halliburton gave you 6. Yeah, you can't do that in the playoffs against a very well coached defensive team. 6 points, 8 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 for 6 from the field. You took 6 shots. 5 of them were threes. You made 2 of them. 36 minutes. Tyrese, if you think you're one of the ones and want to be in that conversation of the young guns coming up, especially in the East, you got to give me more than 6 points. Obi Toppin gave you 12. You had Isaiah Jackson with 8. TJ McConnell with 18. This guy just gets into the lane and causes havoc. He doesn't miss his middies. He can make a three sometimes. He rarely takes them. He took one, he missed it. He went 9 for 16, all from like 8 to 16 feet. Can get to the rim, had some good layups, defends hard. He defended Brunson hard. I'm talking about like Dellavedova on Curry in the 2015 finals. 2015, 2016 finals. Like, they lost the 15, they won the 16 one, and Dellavedova still, like J.R. Smith, said in an interview, he almost died covering Curry. Like, so that's how TJ McConnell was kind of covering Brunson anytime he got, full court press, force him left, force him right, make him counter. Like, it was, stifling defense on Brunson. We're going to talk about some stifling defense coming up. Then for the Knicks, Anunoby gave you 13. Hardenstein gave you 13. And he didn't even have a crazy rebounding game. He got 6 rebounds. Jalen Brunson gave you the 43, 14 of 26. Pretty efficient. 1 of 4 from 3. You would like more, but the one that he made was pretty important. He went 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Josh Hart gave you 24 and 13, 9 of 13 from the field, 48 minutes, didn't take a break. 1 for 1 from 3. And then DiVincenzo gave you 25. He exploded. 10 for 17, 5 for 9 from 3. Like, that's what you need, because the bench gave you, Precious Achiuwa gave you 1. And Mitchell Robinson gave you 2 and got hurt, and he's done for 6 to 8 weeks. A stress fracture in his ankle, I believe. And a stress fracture or a stress injury, and usually a stress injury has to be some type of 6 to 8 weeks is a fracture, some type of hairline fracture, some type of, if it's not a slight tear in something, and they just don't want to say it. But they won game 1. It was exciting. I'm guessing Tyrese Halliburton will play a lot better tonight. But I also expect Jalen Brunson to be on time, and I think that he's gonna keep getting 40 bombs, or high 30s. That's what they need, because if he's not hitting, it's tough to find offense there, and the Pacers are going 150,000 miles an hour. You're talking about from rebound or even make, we are pushing the ball. It is 7 seconds or less. You think 9 seconds or less was fast with the Phoenix Suns with Amari Stoudemire, Steve Nash? Nah, this is 7 seconds or less. This is cross half court, 2 seconds off the shot clock, find a shooter and shoot. You let it go, or go get to the rim. And even in the half court, like, they're finding open threes, and they're hitting them. So, the Knicks have to keep mucking up the series. They have to dominate on the defensive end, because they can kill the Pacers in the defensive side of the ball, but they need to out-rebound this team, and they out-rebound them by 8. They should out-rebound them by more. The Knicks got lucky. They shot 48% from 3, 53 points, 54% from the field. Pacers shot 52% from the field, just 39% from 3. So, they took 26. The Knicks took 23. So, I think that it is possible for them to go up 2-0 tonight, but it's also possible that the Pacers just get on a heater and, Tyrese Halliburton gives you 25 to 30 and boom, they win the game, and it's 1-1 going back to Indiana, which is a tough place to play. They're loud, proud. I remember those Heatles finals, those Heatles Eastern Conference matchups with PG when he was a pup. That's a tough place to play in the playoffs. Very tough. And it's yellow, which is not a good background for basketball, in my opinion. Even though all of Golden State was just bleeding gold, and they were kind of yellow in the finals. I remember those, the Oracle. So, but their yellow is like pasty. The Pacers yellow is like pasty yellow. So I think this series is probably going 6 or 7. Just because it's such a contrast in styles. And if one team dominates on the boards, that's the team that's going to win. Knicks have to muck up the series. the less mucked up it is, the better for the Pacers. The more they can run, the more they can score, the more possibility they have for winning. The Knicks want to create this a playoff series, not a regular season game type of feel. They want to muck it up, physical defense, defend, 94 feet, close out hard, be smart, stay on a string. Pacers are free flowing. They're like, let's just run and score as much as we can. So, very, very good contracting styles. I'm still got the Knicks, but the way that I see it, unless the Knicks are the best team, like the Nuggets were last year, are the best team in clutch situations in this series, Pacers could get one or two. Let's get to Ant Edwards. But we didn't need a 40 bomb. No. We didn't even need Rudy Gobert. Shout out Rudy. Winning your 4th defensive player of the year. I believe that it's cemented now. I think you're a Hall of Famer for sure. If you win a championship this year and are the defensive anchor of it, probably first ballot, because 4 defensive player of the years and your metrics are insane. You just didn't have a team around you in Utah to be able to use it to your advantage in the playoffs. But now with this team, the length, the size, allowing you to cover outside, cover inside, having rim protectors at all levels, perimeter lockdown defenders. Shout out Rudy for his 4th depoy. Now, he wasn't there. Shout out to him for his first child. 4th depoy, first child. But the Timberwolves destroyed the Nuggets defensively in this game. It was I'm talking about maximum security prison defense. This is like the Raft in Spider-Man type of defense. Absolutely incredible. Jaden McDaniel, Anthony Edwards, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Naz Reid, Cat, Mike Conley, everybody like contributed, hustled, closed out, multiple efforts, getting into passing lanes, hitting balls out, pause. No Diddy. Knocking balls out away from the offensive players, being hounding like a pack of wolves, and that's how they played. Cat had a great game from 3. Cat had a great game overall. And it was nice to see Cat fully healthy finally. They're the number 1 defense, man. Even without Gobert, like, it was insane. Like, the type of, and I said it. I said it in the last pod. I said that the Nuggets would come with adjustments, but don't think the Timberwolves aren't going for 2. Like, they're not gonna sit back. And Cat, everybody contributed on offense. Like I said, the bench kept scoring on offense. Naz Reid had a great game. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Everybody played really well. And they, Cat played like he was before the injury. Threes, going in the lane, everything wet, just cash. So I'm thinking that it's possible. I'm thinking that it's possible that we see a sweep. I'm not saying we will, but I'm saying it's possible. The reason I say it's possible, they're going to Minnesota. We saw that in round 1. Not a fun place to play, especially when number 5 is suiting up. And no, you don't want to face them at home. It's not a good idea. In Denver, second game, people say like the altitude and everything. Like, this guy's so young that he doesn't even know what that is. Jaden McDaniels gave you 5, but great defense. Kyle Anderson gave you 6 in the spot of Rudy Gobert, but great defense. Cat went 10 for 15, super efficient, 3 for 5 from 3, 12 rebounds. So he gave you 27 and 12. I love it. That's exactly what you need from Cat Towns. If he keeps giving you that, this team is extremely tough to beat. Mike Conley, he went 2 for 5, 4 points, but 6 assists, pretty good. Kyle Anderson had 8 assists. And then Ant went 11 for 17, pretty efficient. 1 for 4 from 3, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 27 points. You know, you got 27 from Cat, 27 from Ant. But this game was done. Naz Reid put in 14, and then Nickeil Alexander-Walker put in 14. You know, this game was done before, you know, Ant really had to wake up. He woke up a little bit at the end just to, like, not pat his stats, but, like, to have a good game. You know, he took open shots and made them and, you know, got to the rim. But, you know, Cat, 27, kind of controlled the game. Ant wanted to do what he wanted to do, stayed off the ball. Saw that the lead was growing and growing and growing, knew that he didn't have to expend energy. He just expended it on the defensive end. You know, this defense is insane. This defense is like Golden State like, and I mean those early Golden State years. Even 2017, it was nasty with KD, but those early ones, you know, the Bulls, the Knicks back in the day in the 90s, those defenses. The Boston Celtics defense in 08, the Heat defense in 2012, with LeBron, Wade, Bosh, you know, that defense was stifling. You know, those Spurs defenses. So I think, you know, even the Lakers. But I think if they keep this defense up, they're at home. Like, it's so possible for them to get a sweep, and they know, like, Denver. Ant said it after the game too. He said, like, hey, we know that they're gonna punch hard, but we're gonna punch too. It's not like we're just gonna not punch. We're just gonna absorb punches. Like, nah, we're gonna you know, punch too, and that's what they did this game. Denver started off quick with Aaron Gordon with 15, you know, but Aaron Gordon scored 20. You know, 8 for 14. Everybody else with 4 for 12 for MPJ, 9 points. Jokic, 5 for 13, 16 rebounds, but 2 assists, which is 8 assists, so almost triple-double, but 16 points. That's Jamal Murray, 3 for 18, 0 for 4, 13 rebounds, but 8 points. And I'm talking about, if there is a guy who was getting hounded, I'm talking about 94 feet, pure lockdown jail. Talking about solitary confinement with anybody in front of him, whether it was Ant, whether it was McDaniel, whether it was Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And then the traps were amazing. That there was a trap that I thought they fouled him, and nope, they didn't foul him. They just kept him in jail. And, you know, the calf could be hurting him on his shot. But he got so mad and they got so flustered with the physicality that he threw a towel at a referee. It landed on the floor and it slid to a referee. He was like, nah. I need to make more of an impact with this throw. It has to be something heavier. Grabs a heat pack and then throws it into the middle of the floor, and then Cat almost steps on it. They fined him today, $100K. I don't want the suspension either. People said they wanted to suspend him. Nah, this is the Eastern. This is the Western Conference semifinals. He's the second best player on a championship winning team, and they're down 2-0. So and they're going on the road. I don't think that suspension would have been right. A guy with no rap sheet, no, you know, always been calm his whole career, like not a troublemaker at all. So I think it was just frustration. Jamal said the same thing. So, you know, but lockdown defense, 106-80. Denver Nuggets have not been, you know, defended to 80 points. They have not scored only 80 points. I think in the playoffs, it was like it was a very long time. You know, just lockdown defense. This is just absolute MPJ. You got to dribble the ball. Aaron Gordon, you better dribble the ball. KCP, find your own shot. Like, you know, Reggie, got hurt. He started hopping out into the locker room. That's tough. So, and their bench, man, the bench points in this series are so telling. You know, Minnesota shot 39% from three, 50% from the field, got 42 rebounds. And the Denver Nuggets got 50 rebounds, but they were 9 of 30 from three, 30% and 35% from the field. And that's the difference right there, guys. Like 28 to 18 assists, to 16 assists. That's weird for the Nuggets. The Nuggets are usually a team that hover around the 30 assist mark. That's how they work best. But honestly, I think that it's possible for this people to be a sweep. And if it's a sweep, even if it's 5 games, if it's a sweep of any kind, gentleman's sweep or a straight up sweep, the next series is going to determine the champion. This series is where the champion is coming from. The next series, I'm saying Timberwolves will win the next series and win in the finals against Boston. But the next series is either going to be another up-and-coming team, the youngest team in the NBA and OKC with SGA, or Luka, which is another superstar of the caliber of Ant. So, I just think that the East is so easy, man. So easy. So shout out to the Timberwolves taking full home court, beating Denver twice in their house. Hadn't been done since 2021. Really incredible defense. If they take that home with Rudy, oh man. Ant gonna be in the 30s. He's averaging 32 for the playoffs, on 50% shooting and 42% from three, and 82% from the line, or 84% from the line. He's just one-man show. Cat's helping him, but that man's a one-man show, and I love it. And then Boston beats listen, we're going to talk about this for 5 minutes. Boston beats the Cavs handily. No problems. Again, Derek White drops 25. It's becoming discouraging at this point, seeing Derek White do this. It's their 5th best player, and he's just hitting threes. First Celtic to hit 23s in a 3-game span in playoff history. Since play-by-play was, the play-by-play era. No KP. He could chill for the next 2 rounds if he wanted to. Jaylen Brown dropped 32. But who we got to talk about is, you see why I keep saying Boston is going to be in the finals, right? But I have zero faith that this Boston team can beat anybody out of the West. Denver, Minnesota, OKC, or Dallas. And the reason why is because Jason Tatum, for this playoffs, is averaging 22 points. And that's not superstar level. He's the 3rd leading scorer on his team. Jaylen Brown's number 1. Derek White is 2nd. And he played bad yesterday again. Again, he played bad on the offensive side of the floor. On the offensive side of the floor, he, as a scorer, played bad and was missing shots, and he's been missing shots. He's 28% from 3. 28%? Are you serious? Damn. But we expected this, guys. You know why we expected? Because he's not a top 5 player in the league, guys. He's not a Giannis. He's not a Jokic. He's not an Ant. Not a Curry. He's not a Luka. He's not an SGA. He's not one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? He's not one of those guys that in the playoffs he takes it upon himself to up his game. He averaged 29 in the regular season. He's averaging 22. Ant averaged 26. He's averaging 33, 32. Brunson averaged 27. He's averaging 36. You know, Jokic is averaging around 30. Not with this last past game, but for the playoffs. Murray's not woken up yet. Luka was averaging until yesterday, which we'll get to. And SGA is like at 29, 28. He averaged 32 in the regular season, but he can get to that. I think that he's still around. He went 29-9. He went 29, 9, and 9 yesterday. But yeah, man, the Cavs have no shot. I think that they could get swept. This series, when you see it, just even when it's 0-0, it is so apparent that the Cavaliers are just outmatched. No Jared Allen, just hurts them. You know, it was close after a quarter, 40-34. The second quarter was a defensive mess, 15-19. But, you know, once we got to the third quarter, 28-33, and then in the fourth, 18-28. I mean, they won 20-95. It was not competitive at the end. Donovan dropped 33, meaningless because, I mean, they really didn't mean anything. Jaylen Brown dropped 32. You know, and the Celtics had the lead for so long. I mean, the last lead that Cleveland had in this game was, let me see, 23-23, 23-21. 23-21, 5 minutes and 32 seconds left in the first quarter. That was the last lead the Cleveland Cavaliers had in that game. Yeah. This is over. Donovan Mitchell's gonna head to Miami, even though we're rumors that might be looking at Kevin Durant. Guys, he's gonna be 36 years old. I don't want a 36-year-old superstar. Get me a guy under 30 or 30. Which is what Donovan Mitchell, he's 29. Why do we have to go after more older people? Come on. So Cleveland, Evan Mobley dropped 17. Okoro dropped 11. Darius Garland dropped 14. Donovan Mitchell went 12 for 25, 4 for 11 from 3, dropped 33, 6 and 5. You know, Mobley had 13 rebounds. Max Strus, 5 points, 1 for 5 from 3. Morris Jr., 3 points. Niang, 4 points. Tristan Thompson, 4 points. Karis LeVert, 4 points. 26% from 3 as a team. 41% from the field. 38 rebounds to 55 rebounds. 39% from 3. So even low by their standards. And 49% from the field. Jason Tatum, 18, 7 for 19, 0 of 5 from 3, 11 rebounds. Horford, 7 points. Drew Holiday, 14 points. Derek White, 9 for 16, 7 of 12 from 3, 25 points. Jaylen Brown, 12 of 18, and bunnies, too. I'm talking about this is layups. Some jumpers, but mostly layups. 4 of 6 from 3. And 32 points. Xavier Tillman gave him 2. Luke Cornett gave him 4. And Peyton Pritchard dropped 16, including 4 for 10 from 3. Now, I don't think it's going to be a sweep because we saw what happened against the Miami Heat, and the Miami Heat were without Terry Rozier and Jimmy Butler, and we still did an all-time shooting performance. So do I believe that the Cavs can magically wake up one night, and, Donovan Mitchell put in a 45 and Darius Garland put in 30, and Strus hit 6 or 7 threes, and they can get a win, yeah. But I think it's more likely that happens in Cleveland. Even though Boston has not protected full home court this whole postseason or the last postseason or the postseason before that. Um, you know, they like to lose at home, shall we say. Uh, but you could see the outmatching 6 3 point 6 3 guard 6-1 and 6-3 guards against Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Derek White. It just doesn't work. They get closed. I mean, Donovan Mitchell can get to the rim, but they're getting blocked too at the rim and stuff. Like, it looks bad. They can't get into their offense at all. Lockdown defense pretty much. They missed a lot, but lockdown defense. They were getting what they wanted, but their shots were missing as well. So do I feel like it might be a sweep? No. It's a possibility, but I think Cleveland at least gets one. I said Cleveland. I said Celtics in 6. Depending on this next game, I might be leaning Celtics in 5. But I think Cleveland gets one. And then we go to Mavericks Thunder. We got to start by Luka not playing. He looks hurt, but I'm not going to give him that excuse because he was hurt in Game 5 against the Clippers and dropped a gem. So he just played bad. Dallas Mavericks played bad as a whole. I mean, you got 10 from PJ Washington. Derek Jones dropped 7. Gafford went 16 points and 11 rebounds. Irving gave you 20. That's not a Kyrie Irving game. He went 7 for 14, 3 or 4 from 3. And then Doncic gave you 6 of 19, 1 of 8 from 3, 6 rebound, 9 boards, and 19 points. That's just not gonna cut it. You need 30 and 30 from Kyrie and Luka. I mean, that's what you need. I'm not even gassing anything here. That's what you need. You need 30 and 30 plus from Luka and Kyrie to be able to win this series and, have a shot at Denver or Minnesota in the next series, in the next round. Tim Hardaway didn't do nothing. 2 points. Dwight Powell, he didn't play. Basically, he played 5 minutes at the end. Derek Lively dropped in 2 points. Not good. Josh Green dropped 11, 3 of 8 from 3. That'll be a little bit more efficient than that. Dante Exum dropped 5 points, but he barely played. They all played at the end. I mean, it was 117 to 95. So those are pretty, they shot 34% from 3, not usually what they do. They shot 40%, 39% from the field, 39 rebounds to 52 rebounds by the Thunder. That's another thing that Dallas has to dominate. It's definitely the rebound battle. They should have the advantage with Gafford, PJ Washington, and Derek Lively. But, OKC wanted it more at their own crib. You got 19 from Chet, 8 of 16, 2 of 5, 7 rebounds. I mean, from a rookie. You had Jalen Williams with 18, big in the fourth quarter with 3 straight buckets, including 2 dagger threes, to really extend the lead to 15 and douse any thought of a comeback when Dallas was kind of trying to reel it back in. Josh Giddey dropped 2 points. He was non-effective. Lou Dort played great defense. He dropped 7 points. Arkansas Jalen Williams, he dropped 11. And you got Aaron Wiggins with 16, 3 of 4 from 3. And Cason Wallace dropped 7. Isaiah Joe dropped 6. 2 of 3 from 3. So they shot 46% from 3. They were one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. They shot 45% from the field, 52 rebounds, 29 assists to 39 rebounds, 19 assists. I mean, it was just an outmatching. I think that Kyrie and Luka will play better. They did last series and won. I expect the same to happen here. I still got Dallas in 6. It might go 7. I need to see the next game to determine if it will go 7 or even if my pick will change. But right now, I think the Mavericks was just feeling them out, seeing how they play Luka and everything. Luka will play better. Kyrie will play better. I believe the team as a whole will play better, especially on the rebounding on the glass, and we'll get an actual series out of this. Tonight we got Pacers Knicks at 8 on TNT. I got the Knicks. It's gonna be a close game. I think Brunson goes for 30 plus. DiVincenzo looks like he has a stroke back, so he might drop 20 plus. Tyrese Halliburton is the swing factor, even though he's their superstar or their star. He has to get plus 10 assists and at least 20 points. Pascal has to get at least 25, and then maybe the win. Tough place to play at the Garden, at MSG, at the Mecca. So I got the Knicks going up 2-0 in that series. Even though the Pacers look like a scary, scary opponent for the Knicks. And no Mitchell Robinson hurts the offensive rebounding part of it. But I don't think that they have anything for Josh Hart getting rebounds. And everybody else on that team just loves to rebound. So we'll see what happens. But I think I got the Knicks tonight against the Pacers. Last but not least, talk a little MLB. For the Cardinals, William Contreras is sidelined for a while. Unfortunately, he fractured his forearm, getting hit by a bat. Not good at all. But as we go for the standings, Baltimore has a no-game lead on the Yankees in the East. 7-3, both 7-3. The Yankees have won 4 in a row. Tampa Bay has won 5 in a row, 6-5, 6-4 in the last 10. Boston's 5-5, 4.5 games back. Tampa might pass Boston; they're only a half game back, and Toronto's only 2 games back of Tampa Bay. Cleveland has a 2.5 game lead over KC. They're actually facing each other. They're 5-5 in the last 10 each. Then you got Minnesota 3 games back. Detroit's 5 games back. They're 4-6 in the last 10. The White Sox are done, 15.5 games back. Seattle and Texas Rangers are both tied at the top of the West. 6-4 for Seattle, including a grand slam by Kyle Raleigh yesterday. That was insane. And then Texas, 7-3. Their pitching is doing great. And Heaney and Dunning, Evaldi, they're all pitching great. They have Gray, and that's still with no DeGrom and Scherzer, which is insane. Oakland is 3 games back, 7-3 in their last 10. This team seems like they are not going to be the same team as last year. This has been 28 games already, still early in the season, but they're winning games. So the Angels, no Mike Trout. He's hurt again, torn meniscus, unfortunately. We talked about last episode. 6.5 games back. Can they wake up? They can. Will they? Probably not. The surprise of the season is Houston. They're 7.5 games back. They can still wake up. It's not a complete disaster, but they've lost 3 in a row, 5-5 in the last 10. Justin Verlander got hit for 7 runs against the Yankees, most in his career against the Yankees. They just got to figure something out. They need McCullers back. They need Christian Javier, Fromber to be fully healthy. They need Justin Verlander to start pitching well. Hunter Brown to wake up. This took Urquidy to come back. Like, it's so tough right now in that division. And, for them to just get out of the slump, like, they need everybody hitting. Like, everybody has to hit. Altuve has to hit. King Tuck has to hit, which he's hitting. He's hit 10 or 9 home runs since the slow start. Jordan has us to wake up. Like, Breggy has to wake up. So like, they can still wake up, but, it's looking shaky. But they're 2-time World Series champions. So, and 6 times they've gone straight to the ALCS. So, Can't count them out. Not early in the season. Philly is 2.5 games up on Atlanta. Bryce Harper's killing the baseball right now. He had another grand slam yesterday. He's 13th of his career, I believe, or 14th. Just a massive shot. You can't put anybody on base with Bryce there. I mean, if he gets anything middle in, middle, anything in the strike zone, he can take out. Any type of pitch, sweeper, fastball, changeup, splitter, sinker, two-seamer, like, slurve. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, curveball. Like, it doesn't matter. He's gonna take it out if he barrels it. And their whole team is playing well. Their pitching is incredible. Atlanta, they're 4-6 of the last 10. Like I said, Acuna has to wake up with the power. Matt Olson has to wake up with the power. Ozzy Albies, they're missing him. I believe he's back in the lineup. Sean Murphy has to start hitting. Like, they just haven't hit. And without Strider, it's also tough, even though they still got Max Fried. You still got Chris Sale, so, you have arms, but at the same time, you don't got your arm. You feel me? Washington 6.5 games back in third place, 7-3 in their last 10. Just a young team. I mean, for Atlanta to be only 2.5 games back and Washington be 6.5 games back in the third position, like that's crazy how good the Phillies have just kind of, and Atlanta has kind of just tried to keep up, but the Phillies have 26-12. They're on historic pace for their franchise and wins as of right now in the season. Still early. Anything can happen. The Mets are straight even, 500, 7 games back, 5-5 in their last 10, straight even. And then the Marlins are 16.5 games back. We're done. Okay, that's it. We lost 3 in a row. We're done. Milwaukee and Chicago Cubs are atop of the Central. They're 4-6 and 5-5 respectively in the last 10. They have pitching, they have hitting. It's kind of on and off, but both teams can hit you and light you up, or pitch you and shut you down. Justin Steele came back, but it was against Milwaukee. They pulled it out in the 7th or in the 9th inning. Crazy with a tying home run. I mean, Milwaukee has won the last 2 games in crazy fashion. Cincinnati's 4.5 games back. They kind of slipped a little bit, 28 in the last 10, lost 6 in a row. Pitching's gone bad. Ellie has started to strike out again. Steer hasn't woken up, but I still got faith in the Reds. Pittsburgh's 5 games back, a half game back of the Reds. They're 3-7 in the last 10. Keller's pitching great, but Priester was pitching good, and then he got hit yesterday. They just got to bring up Paul Skeens, man. I'm telling you, and Jarrett Jones. Just Paul Skeens and Jarrett Jones and Keller. That's your top 3 right there. And based on performance, right now, I put Jarrett Jones, Keller, and Paul Skeens I haven't seen yet. But when Paul Skeens makes his first start, and hopefully he's as nasty as he's been since LSU, he might be either the number 1 or the number 2 behind Jarrett Jones. Keller as a number 3 would be disgusting. St. Louis 6 games back. It's still early, 3-7 in the last 10. They've lost 4 in a row. They're just kind of old. The Dodgers have a 6.5 game lead. The Dodgers have over the Padres in the West. It is insane. Otani's going nuts-a-bungo. Like nuts-a-bungo. Home run every other game, 464-foot bombs, just peeling the baseball away after it hits his bat. The whole team is pitching great. Gavin Stone, Glass now, Yoshinobu Yamamoto's pitching incredible. And they still don't have Kershaw or Walker Buehler. Like, it's insane how talented and deep that team is. They're 8-2 in their last 10, 7 in a row. I mean, they're dominating baseball right now, 26-13. Padres are 20-20. 6-4 in their last 10. Tatis they made the trade for a rise. He's been hitting early. They have Tatis, of course, Xander, but to chase down the Dodgers. I think they're just trying to get a wild card at this point. Arizona's 8.5 games back. Corbin started to hit the ball more. Now they got to get Corbin, Christian Walker, and Ketel Marte on the same page, and then Gabby Moreno, and then you can see some definite improvement. Zach Allen came back yesterday, pitched pretty good. I need Brandon Pfaadt to be better, Ryan Nelson to be better, because they need, they need Merrill Kelly back. That's who they need. They're number 2, but San Francisco's 9 games back, 3-7 in the last 10. Arizona's 4-6 in the last 10, but they've won 2 in a row, and then 16 games back. It's over for Colorado. That's it. It's a wrap. 2-8 in the last 10. Lost 3 in a row. It's done. So there's a lot of done teams already, and the ones that we thought was going to be bad, besides the Oakland A's, I mean Miami and Colorado, and the White Sox, it is wraps. 15.5, 16.5, and 16. It is over. I mean, start trading, start looking for trades, making deals. That's why Arias got moved. I expect Garrett Crochet to be moved. Even maybe Michael Soroka to be moved. For Colorado, Ezekiel Tovar, maybe he gets moved. McMahon, Brandon Doyle. There's a lot of people that can be moved if they want to be, if they want to move them. But yeah, that's baseball. And that's it, because there's no Formula One. We're back at Darlington in NASCAR. I expect the old guys to dominate there. Martin Truex Jr., just the vets, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. I want to see Ty Gibbs finally get his first win, but I don't think it's going to be at Darlington. It's a more old school racetrack. But other than that, go Panthers. We lost against the Bruins yesterday. Hopefully we can recuperate ourselves, because we swept the Tampa Bay Lightning. So hopefully we can recuperate ourselves and beat the Boston Bruins. We're not supposed to lose to Boston teams, and the Celtics already beat us, and the Patriots had beaten us for a long time. So let's get our shit together. Come on to Chuck, and let's go. Other than that, I love you guys. Take care. God bless. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I leave you all with the outro.
Que todos quieren ser el chamaquito que no pueden